One back with some BFA Warfront stuff that's on testing, so we're gonna hop in and just gonna give you a quick overview of my thoughts on everything. So without further ado, here we go. Okay, so here's a map of the Arathi Highlands inside the instance, inside the Warfront. I'm just gonna start naming stuff off, and so you can follow along. All the red ones, of course, are the Horde. Blue icons are the Alliance. Red icons in the middle there is your base. Starting from the right, the castle icon is your stronghold. The helm with the horns is the altar of storms. The gear is your workshop. The shield is your armory, where you can upgrade your weapons and stuff for your troops. And the double swords is your barracks. On the far right, on the outside, the cart looking thing, of course, is the mine, and where the tree is on the far left is the lumber mill called Hatchet Ridge. The blue icons, the flags in the middle here is High Perch. The one on the right is the Circle of Elements, and the one on the far left, upper left, is Newstead. Now, Newstead, if you control that as the Horde, you get access to Wolf Riders. The Circle of Elements, if you have control of that as the Horde, you have access to Shamans, which which you need for they heal your recruitment troops. The one High Perch in the middle, if you have access to that, once you've taken that, you will get you have a gyrocopter that can take you from there to anywhere, any of the nodes or your base that you control. Of course, the blue icons with the lions are the Alliance patrols and people coming to kill you. The ones with the blue box-looking things, or rectangles rather, with the diamonds in the middle are their siege weapons. The blue flag icon that's right below High Perch is basically the final defense line for Stormgrad Keep. It has cannons and quite a bit of heavy reinforcements there. As you can see, it's kind of set up kind of like Heroes of the Storm. There's more or less just 3 main lanes for you to go down to try and control things and to basically cut off reinforcements from your enemy. It's actually quite nice. I think they pull it off pretty well. But that's enough of that. Let's get into what's actually going on. So here's what's next. So once it all starts and the gate opens, you just run off the Tempest Roar, and you've got a parachute automatically, so it just parachutes you in. And basically the first thing you want to do when you land is to start clearing out where you're going to build your base from Alliance troops. Once that's done, you just use a capture point that you would in any battleground when you're just a node for like mines or something like that. And once that's done, you want to pick up the 3 one-time quests when you first get in. First time you go into one, you get up 3 quests. They give you, when you complete them, they give you iron or wood so you can turn in. Next up is the iron stores, which is the chest right here, and that makes it whatever you put in that chest, iron you put in that chest, goes towards the overall amount. After that, you want to head over to the mine. You kill the overseer, and you can now capture the mine. If the mine looks familiar, the layout does. It's because it's basically the same. It's the same asset for the Warlords of Draenor level 3 garrison mine. So after that, you want to head over to the lumber mill or Hatchet Ridge. You pick up a quest there. When you finish it, you get access to a axe where you can chop down trees, so you can pick up wood. Any wood you pick up automatically goes into the overall pile for your base, so you can use it to then start constructing things, which we're going to look at right now. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's the war mill, the barracks, the Altar of Storms. Whatever you build, basically you just construct it. It costs half. It's gonna basically, you gotta fill up the what it needs for iron, and then what it needs for wood. Once that's done, it gets constructed completely. And first, we're going to take a look at the barracks. This is where you train your troops. You have your regular grunts, you have your axe throwers, you have your shamans, which, as I said earlier, you need to capture the circle of elements to be able to recruit them. And you have your wolf riders, which, again, you have to train. You have to capture the new steed to be able to train them. They each have their own unique abilities. Grunts have Raging Strike. The axe throwers, of course, have Throw Axe. And the shamans are, like I said earlier, are the Healing Wave, which heals the troops. And the wolf riders have Weighted Net and Burning Oil, which does it locks enemies down, and it also the Burning Oil, of course, does what it says, burns a large area of the ground. They're pretty decent at AoE and from stopping NPCs from running away. Next up, we have the War Mill. This is where you will upgrade your troops' weapons and armor. Start off with, you have steel armor and thorium weapons right now, but you do need the stronghold. You need to build your stronghold to be able to have access to your thorium weapons. And having all these available for your troops is a very good thing. Next up, we have the workshop, which is where you make your siege weapons, which are the demolishers. You can only have 3 of these at a time, so once 3 are built, until one is destroyed, 1 or more are destroyed, you can't build any more. They do cost right now 80 iron. And let's see, next up we have the Altar of Storms. Now, the Altar of Storms are really interesting. As you know, in Warcraft 3 is where you went and upgraded it's where you bought your upgrades for your hero and stuff. So basically here, since you are basically the hero, you can go and use iron or wood to upgrade yourself with Bristling Power, which grants yourself an application of Power of the Storm. Each application increases your damage and healing by 2% and your health by 1%. And it stacks up to 10 times. It is a 10-minute buff, which is pretty nice. And see, I got essence here of the storms on me. And after you get this, you can get it from killing enemies, rares, stuff like that. You want to head back to the Altar of the Storm, where you can now get. So you can only have one. You can only have one of these at a time, as you can see on the resource counter. Once you have this, like I said, head back to Altars of the Storm, and you can access and get Call of the Storm. It blesses you with Call of the Storm, increases the damage you deal and healing done by 150% and your health by 150%, and increasing your movement speed by 50%. And this is also important. All nearby enemy troops and players will also deal more damage and have increased health. This is an exceptionally powerful thing to have, especially if you are able to kind of time it and get it. It's a 5-minute buff. If you can time it and get it when you're making that final push down the middle, and have with all your troops and all the players, it works out really well. But that's all I really wanted to say about that. And now I just want to go over my personal views, what I thought, and what I think the potential of this game mode could be. Overall, I am extremely happy with this. This was a lot of fun. It was chaotic at first on my first battle before I really knew what I was supposed to be doing. My second run through, it was a lot better. I was having a great time. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of video of that because my recording software decided to bug out for some reason. Only record like 5 minutes of the second game. The last like 5 minutes of it. So, but overall, the game mode is thought it was a lot of fun. There are a ton of things to do within the Warfront while it's going on. You can go collect ore. You can go be a guy that runs around and just protects stuff with the soldiers in each encampment. You can go take things. You can go scout stuff. You can go and make sure you get any of the rares and events that pop up. You can stay back and help defend the base until it's built up. There's just a ton of stuff you can do in this game, and it is in this game mode, and it is just overwhelmingly a fun time. The game mode itself, I think, is kind of a mix of different Blizzard games. You've got like a third RTS, with the whole power yourself up with the altar and build your base up. You got a battlegrounds type battlegrounds going on with the capturing the nodes and so forth. And you've also got a little bit of Heroes of the Storm with the you've got the lanes, and of course yourselves at heroes and stuff like that, and the troops just running aimlessly at the enemy until they find something to kill. So down these lanes. So I think it works out really well, though. Is just a really fun game type, and I cannot wait to test out the Alliance version of it, which I hope is coming soon. There's a lot of potential for this mode in the not just in this expansion, but in the future. This could end up being a really good in-game mode, a really good alternative to just raiding or straight PvPing. Especially the AI is not here is not that bad. A lot of the higher, not like the regular NPCs, but a lot of the veteran NPCs or the named NPCs and stuff, when you crowd control them or silence them or something, they do, once it's done, they do have a tendency to run away a little bit or something. So I'd like to see more of that kind of AI used in other parts of the game also. But this has such good potential. This could really change things up, I think. The way things for end game rating and things like that. This could be a good alternative for people who like this kind of stuff but don't want to raid overall, which there's a lot of. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you leave a like and a comment. And that's it. Have a good day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.